This week's theme is visual communication skills, and you'll notice that the reading in White Space is Not Your Enemy looks at the mini art school. But on screen, you're looking at a snapshot of all of the logos that were submitted last week. So this is where I want to take a quick moment, as it ties into this week's conversation, and talk about one of my approaches to teaching and learning. And that is this idea of play, exploring the theory, and then refining the practice behind. So you'll notice that even this week's discussion looks at logos, and logos pop up in and around the textbook and talking about visual communication and visual information. One little image can convey so much. So what we were doing last week when you were doing the personal logo assignment was essentially the play component. Now, you did have to dig around in the text and perhaps look online or elsewhere as you wrote up those design justifications. Why did you pick a particular color, or why did you pick a particular layout or approach? And you'll find that as we continue on in the class, you'll look back at your previous work and go, man, why did I do that? That's not something I really wanted to do there. And that's okay. That's the point of it. The point is for you to play, explore the theory, and then refine your practice. So you'll have the opportunity to change your logo if you so choose when you use it elsewhere. You'll have the opportunity to resubmit if you don't necessarily get the grade that you were expecting. But I want you to think about visual communication and what are you communicating with visual design. We've spent a lot of time looking at flyers, websites, billboards. So logos are a slightly different spin of that same information, but it's all part of the same family. And this is where we also dig into color psychology. So why particular colors over another, and what do those colors convey to us? The last thing I want to mention is Gestalt laws, because this is the back end of chapter 5, which is your reading for this week, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But Gestalt really does help us think about design in different ways. And looking at just the snapshot overview of all of the logos that were submitted, I see at least 2 or 3 logos that really hit on some different Gestalt principles. So if I don't forget, I'll try to bring that back up when we get into next week's discussion wrap-up with respect to Gestalt and logos. So with that said, take a look at this week's expectations, and I hope you enjoy this week. Use the on-screen navigation to access another section of this week's overview.
Gold paints the sky just after sunrise.